loading snacks. What it do, snackers, snackettes, and snack X is your boy Gage here with the homie Jokes, and it is time for another episode of Spoiler Boys.
Spoiler Boys.
Yeah, and the boys are here to spoil for you Daredevil Born Again Season 2. That's right. Unlike last season where we did it a few episodes at a time, this time we're doing the entire season now that the season is over. And as usual, before we get into it, we're gonna get some numbers, just kind of see where we're sitting before we have our discussion. Jokes. Daredevil, Born Again, Season 2, overall, give me a number. What are your thoughts?
I'm sitting like right now. I think I'm at a 9. I
Okay.
think I'm on a 9.
Okay.
I don't think I'll be at a 10. So I think right now I'm at a 9. I think I'm about at a 9.
So I would be at an 8
Mm-hmm.
if it wasn't for that last episode. I think the last episode helped push the season for me into 9 territory, possibly slightly higher. Not quite ready to give it 10. I don't think we're there.
Yeah, I don't think we're there.
If we were doing individual episodes, there might be an episode in there I might be too, but I think I am also sitting at a 9, which is interesting because one of the things about this season for this show is that what's been reported is that the viewership for this show dropped way off. Like it reduced by like half compared to the first season. And I know we talked about it a little bit on Loading Snacks Weekly and kind of where we feel like that's coming from. And this was like maybe 6 episodes ish into the season. And for again, a show with 8 episodes, there's still a couple of episodes left to kind of close things out, but I think that as good of a season of television as this is, I just feel like the competition was extremely fierce. I think that having this coming out week to week while a new season, final season of The Boys is coming out, while a 4th season of Invincible is out, while on Disney Plus you have the 1st season of Maul Shadowlord, a character that people have been waiting to get their own thing for a very long time, right? I just feel like the viewers, if you are at all cross-motivated to watch any of these things, if you have interest in any of those things together, which again, we're talking about a superhero TV show against a superhero TV show against a superhero TV show against a Star Wars TV show, right? This is a little bit more of the same by comparison, I think, where like Invincible being animated and being what it is and just kind of always hitting on all cylinders. There just hasn't, like, a season of Invincible has not ever missed. If I'm going to pick something, that's what I'm going to pick, even though it's not coming out on the same night, right? And, if you're a Star Wars person, the hype behind Mando and Grogu coming with like all like you're probably going to choose that over this. If you are at all intrigued by Invincible, when you've been watching The Boys, and now we're going into like final season territory, and I'm invested in these characters, and I want to see what's happening with them and what's where it's gonna go. This is must-watch TV, right? Because this is the final season. Where like with Daredevil, it's like, well, yeah, they're probably gonna go ahead and do a season 3. We know we're probably gonna see these characters again in other things that are coming out, be they Doomsday, the you know what I mean, or Spider-Man, or whatever else is coming. And so I think that this show, I think we'll see the viewership go back up. But I think in terms of its debut, I just think it was up against far too much competition that really other people had motivations that were higher
Mm-hmm.
for going to watch those things or putting their time and effort into those things by comparison.
Mm-hmm.
And those are my thoughts on like what happened with it. You feel free to share yours.
Nah, I agree with you. And some people probably made the decision on, they want to keep up to date on certain things as they're happening. And one of those shows may have just been like, you know what? I'm just going to let this finish and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to binge the whole entire thing. And I feel like Daredevil is one of those that, and don't get me wrong, all the shows kind of do this in some form. Like you get to the end of the episode and you're kind of just like, mm. Like, and Daredevil does do that on a couple of
Is that
occasions.
what you're
So
like?
it's like, mm. And whether it's like,
All right.
I don't know, just
All
like,
right.
what, Daredevil's the one that people are gonna say, you know what, I'm gonna hold off, and then I'm just gonna come back. I'm just gonna binge it the whole way through once it finishes on there, because like hearing that fall off, because like by the middle way of we were getting, things were getting pretty good, and it was kind of at a point where it's just like, I don't know why you would just want to stop watching. If there's like certain points you'll get to, and it's just like, how do you not want to just go to the next episode to find out why whatever may have happened at a point in time for it? So I
Sure.
think it's some people just dropping off to probably just come back and just binge the whole rest of the season.
Here's a thing. I think is important for me personally about this season of this show. It might not even just be this season. It could be Daredevil as a whole. There is something about the way this show, and I feel like the other the original Netflix
Mm-hmm.
Marvel shows are shot and written and put together that there's a lot that's going on, and the shows feel very heavy when you're watching the episodes. And the
Mm-hmm.
episodes, I feel like the pacing of the episodes, there's something about the way that they're done that I think you are better served binging it than, even though the shows are long, even though they're hour-long episodes.
Mm-hmm.
It feels to me like getting to the end of an episode and then waiting a week is
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, I don't know. It doesn't, the way that the show opens, the way that it pulls you in when you're invested in that episode, it doesn't, none of these episodes made me feel like I can't wait for next week.
Mm-hmm.
They did make me feel like I want to watch the next episode now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's an important distinction to make. There's something about this show, the way that it's set up, the way they do it, that I feel like the show would be better served and Disney Plus would do better to drop it all at
Drop the whole
once.
thing.
I do. Or to drop it in chunks, like they have done mysteriously for other ones, where it's like, here's 3 episodes,
Right.
here's 2 episodes, here's another 3 episodes, or whatever it is, right? Like there is something about it that for me feels like, I don't know. Look, if they gave me 4 episodes, 4 hours is a long time to sit and just watch a thing. But I will tell you that I binged this joint
Mm-hmm.
yesterday, and it was incredible. Like I just think I didn't watch it. I watched a lot of it, like as the weeks hit,
Mm-hmm.
and then I missed a couple episodes or whatever somewhere in there, and it was just like, all right, well, at this point, I'm just gonna, and I'm telling you, there's something about the way that this show, each episode starts and ends,
Mm-hmm.
that I feel like it is much better served in a like, let's keep going capacity. Give me
Mm-hmm.
another one, give me another one, give me another one. Let me watch it till I'm tired of watching it, right? Because this show is anxiety inducing. It is. It's anxiety inducing in the way that you almost have to get yourself motivated to go back and do another one if you wait.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're already there, it's like you're in, right? But again, but like what's happening is so heavy, and what's going on with the characters is so heavy, and the amount of damage that they receive from episode to episode, it all feels very weighted. And here's the other thing that I think is very important about this show right now and what it's doing is that so much of what's happening in this show is very specifically mimicking what is happening in our country every day. That watching this show is like I might as well be watching the news.
Watching the news.
You know what I mean? Just there's no way you can watch this show and not draw the comparisons between Kingpin and Trump and ICE and like you just you can't not do it. It's impossible to not do it. And I think that's really heavy. And I think it's the kind of thing that a lot of people, when they come to this kind of content, they come to this content. We discuss this a little bit on Weekly, but they come to this content to get away from
some of that
the real world. And this is so very closely mimicking the real world. And the last season did it too. But it feels much more serious right now, right? Like we're a country that's at war, that a lot of people are angry. Like there's just a lot going on that I feel like make this so much heavier, that when you watch it episodically from week to week, it's almost like you're asking to be beat up mentally when you do it. And it doesn't really allow you to stay, in my opinion, in like a superhero kind of getaway, you know what I mean? Kind of like mind frame. Where if you binge it, it allows you to stay in like, I'm in this other world where people have powers and things are different or whatever, and it feels different. And I think that's a huge thing about what's going on with this season specifically. So, having said that and kind of laid out like how I feel about the season and why I think people were kind of off and whatever, man, this is a good season of TV, bro.
It is. It is. And like,
it's a really good season of TV.
I love how, because we were all, when they first made the announcement, they were going to be bringing Daredevil over. It was like, we were worried that, they may try to, water things down a little bit. Like, obviously, we did the test with Deadpool, and Disney was cool with it and stuck with it. So it was like, okay, fine, we're going to keep the grittiness. We're going to keep all of that with it. So season 1 went pretty smooth, and obviously coming into season 2, obviously the stakes were going to be higher. We were wondering, obviously certain characters coming back into the show, like how that was going to work in certain things. So I think they did a great job with each one of these episodes. So I tell you, just like you said, some of these episodes, by the time you get to the end, like the anxiety level is kind of like, yo, I need this episode like now, because like not jumping too far ahead. When Bullseye showed up, when Fisk was doing the little charity boxing thing, and Vanessa took the glass to the head, I was like, oh, this dude Kingpin gonna kill somebody.
100%.
I was like, he gonna kill somebody.
100%.
And I was just
no
like,
two ways
I just
about
need to get to next week because I just need to know who it is. Cause
see, fortunately for me, I didn't have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Like again, like that anxiety that they set up at the end of an episode, like it's almost like, yeah, I want to know what happens, but do I really want to like give myself that anxiety again? Where like binging it and like having that episode end and being able to be like, next episode, you know what I mean? It's like you're getting the relief immediately of like, all right, now I'm gonna see what happens, and I can kind of allow myself to kind of come down, and I don't have to sit with it. So yeah, that kind of stuff, bro, is like, I think that this show look, all the things that they're dealing with. I mean, I'm talking about stuff that is not just from last season, but from the original series, right? Ben Urich's death, still a lingering thing, still a factor. Foggy's death, clearly a major factor in this, and there's a lot of the purpose and what drives the story forward in this season. But man, what they do a really good job of is taking the individual characters and allowing them to develop their own sense of right, wrong, justice, how we move forward, how we don't. And they do a great job of kind of like digging into the background of some things. Like, you know, there's that episode towards the end where like you're really getting to see like where at one point Matt was the person who's like, man, let that dude rot in jail, bro. Like, let him go to jail. Who cares? Like, he's terrible. He was terrible to you. You know what I mean? He's calling you fembot. Like, man, let that dude go to jail. And it's really Foggy who is the motivator and is the conscience that says, but nah, bro. Like, even though, like, I know, like, he had a really rough upbringing. Things weren't fair for him. You know what I mean? And we have an opportunity to save him and keep him from. We know if he goes to jail, he's dead. Like, there just isn't. We could save his life. And having Matt be the person who's like, yeah, but maybe that's what he deserves. Like, look at what he's doing. He's selling drugs. He's ruining his own community. He's, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, let him rot, you know? And Foggy being like, nah, like, we have an opportunity to give him an opportunity he just never had. Right? So did Foggy steal from Matt in order to do it? Yes.
Yeah, he did.
But it is a great thing that, like, when Matt says to Karen, do you think that's what Foggy would want? Like, we could kill Bullseye. You know what I'm saying? We could just kill, you know, like, do you believe that that's what Foggy, if Foggy was here, is that what he would want? Right? And what it's doing to her, like, actually having her go back and call back and even talk about, like, having nightmares to this day about having killed someone, even though it was him or me, it was self-defense kind of thing. Like, it is still eating her alive. And at the same time, her being like, but I've done it once. I can do it again.
She's got pushed over the edge. Like, it's like that. Once you cross that line, it's like you never can come back over. And it's just like, she did it, like you say, she did it once, I could do it again. Like, and then that just becomes a continuous thing she's not gonna be able to get away from.
Yeah, like, look, you're angry enough and hurt enough, and you it's one of those things where, like, when you really think about it, right? And again, this is one of the things that I love about what they did with this show and how the characters are written and the positions that they're put in, right? You think about it, right? If it was you, if you were in Karen Page's shoes and your best friend had been killed by an assassin, and you actually managed to find out who that assassin was, and then you actually managed to find out who hired that assassin to do it, right? Even if in your head, over and over again, you thought to yourself, man, I will kill him, right? Like, I will, right? You can say it as many times as you want. You can talk yourself into it. But the reality of it is, you think to yourself, what are the actual chances that I'm going to get the opportunity to do
actually,
it? Especially considering how skilled of an assassin this particular person is. And now, after having all those thoughts, here is this person brought to you by the person who should protect you and by the person who is actually best friends with the person that he killed, saving his life and leaving him like a wrapped present in front of you, handcuffed to a table, who also, by the way, is saying, please kill me. I deserve it. I don't want to live. Right? Which I thought when he was like, yeah, do it. I want it. a life for a life. It's perfect. It's penance. It's, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I thought she was gonna not try to shoot him because she was gonna be like, well, now I'm giving you what you want, and I don't want
Right.
to do you any favors. You know what I mean? So if you're telling me that you're suffering more by me leaving you alive, then by all means, you know what I
Mm-mm.
mean? But I also wasn't expecting that she was really gonna pull the trigger, bro.
Yep.
And the only reason why it didn't work is because Daredevil just happened to show up in time
Right in the nick of
to keep
time,
it
cause
from happening. And that puts the two of them at odds now, right? Like, again, just like the show's a roller coaster. And you just got to strap in
mm-hmm.
and just ride that anxiety, bro. Like, you just, you just do. Like, you just trying to figure out how they're going to get into from one, place to place and
Mm-hmm.
all of that. It's very anxiety inducing. Um, but the depth that they give to characters, whether it's Fisk as a villain, whether it's Vanessa as his wife. Listen, they therapists, bro.
Therapist needs her own therapist.
Oh, she's a murderer, dog. She's a murderer, dog. Period. Period. She's a murderer. You know what I'm saying? Um, I, you know, solid plot twists throughout. Like, I knew Jessica Jones was coming back. I wasn't overly enthused with what I saw from her.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they quite did enough to dig into the whole, well, like, your powers aren't really what your powers are. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, they don't really dig into that and what's going on with that or why that's a thing. So that's interesting to kind of see.
Kind of leave that on the horizon. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just to kind of leave that on the table to some extent. I don't know, man. What stands out to you from the show? Like,
I just think the execution of how they continue to build the story. Like sometimes when you see there's going to be a twist or turn that's going to show up in some shape or form. But when you're able
mm-hmm,
to do it in a way, especially if it's at the end of an episode, and so you can leave, that anxiety for you to be able to, oh yeah, you need to come back to this next episode. They execute on that very well.
mm,
Making you like Bullseye, like you shouldn't. I feel like as a like he shouldn't necessarily be. I don't want to say necessarily that I care about, but I feel like you kind of given him a little more depth in comparison to like I feel like you would have done. I guess you say like the movie version of Bullseye, which yeah, but you've given him a reason to be in between all of the different elements that are moving along. It's like Bullseye is right now is putting the wedge between Karen and Matt. It's like she could take him off the table, let him be, but you know what? Matt lets him go. And now we're
mm-hmm,
right back in the same thing. Oh, Bullseye's about to go out here and kill someone. I need to go back and I need to go scoop him up again or
mm-hmm,
stop. And then it kind of proves Karen's there like, yeah, we need to take him off the board. Like being able to put them at odds. Kingpin having like his own inner circle of people that he's gonna be kind of at odds. If you step out of line, he's like, he's warned numerous of them that you step out of line with me, like there is no turning back.
mm-hmm.
I think they do a very good job at that. And then
Yeah.
all the characters, like everyone has a background in the sense of saying. So even though some of them may be like minor pieces, like you have it come to the front in different spots throughout the whole entire season. Revisiting things that Ben Ehrlich from back in the Netflix time. We're still trying to figure out. We know Kingpin killed him. And to this day, hey, listen, that's still one of my favorite moments from the whole entire Daredevil
Oh
seasons put
yeah.
together.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just, hey, listen, it's just the way Fisk is in there. They're just casually having a conversation. I mean, yeah, I'm not here to threaten you. I am here to kill you. That is still one of my favorite moments
Fair.
in the whole entire thing. But I think they do such a great job at executing on, and it's a, I say superhero. I say it loosely because obviously, this is that street level thing where we're focusing on, kind of like where Spider-Man is going. So not having to worry about the grand big bad that is the super powered being or whatever.
Sure.
But don't get me wrong, I don't know what Fisk is on. Like, listen, I know dude is strong, but there's some points in time I'm like, hey yo, this is a little OP right now. Your strength that they like, this is not.
I mean, it's not technically for Kingpin. Like in the comp, like
Oh,
Kingpin is a
he's a the way that
he's
he
a
can
threat.
crush
He
a
should be a mutant.
person's. Hey, listen, I would be so acceptable of that. Cause the way that he will just crush somebody's skull, the way
Yeah.
he bear hugged the doctor and like crush his spine, that's a little more real. I think that's a little more realistic than anything. But
Hey, bro, I knew that doctor was gone the
hey,
first time he introduced himself. I was like, oh,
and listen,
you're
he was
done, bro.
trying to keep it as nice and professional and mannered tone as he could with Wilson, but it was that last interaction where he was just like, I'm sorry that it was excellent to meet you. Maybe not on these terms. I was just like, oh, you you're not making it out of this room.
It's one of those things where, like, as an audience, we know it's Kingpin and we know what he does, but like, it's people out there who just they don't get it. Like they're just like,
He's
yeah,
just the
man,
mayor. He's the mayor,
he
and
just
he's doing mayor
yeah,
things. But
he got the fly white suits. Like, yeah, he's cooling. Um, yeah, man. Like I don't I was a little bit surprised at Vanessa's death.
mm-hmm.
Just because they let it drag out. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like to some extent. And then I thought to myself, well, like, yeah, if she survives, she's not gonna be all there. Like there's gonna be something
mm-hmm.
wrong, or whatever. And clearly, um, that's what they did. Um, I think that my man Daniel, listen, I hate like a little sniveling, kind of like conniving, kind of whatever. Like he plays that joint, bro. Like
Yes.
he does that joint. And like I kind of hate BB too. Like I kind of hate her just like using him and being around him. Like I
Mm-hmm.
still couldn't tell if she really actually liked him or cared about
It
him
was, she
or
was
not.
playing that so well. I was, are you really like? Do you really care for this dude, or are you just in it for the story? Like, I get it. Like, hey, listen, she cleaned up. She got my man's whole like apartment cleaned up after that party. I was like, oh, she do care a little bit, because I know that wasn't cheap.
But then like, yeah, I don't know, bro. Like I don't know. Like it's all motivated by I don't, bro. Like I don't know. I don't. I wasn't really a fan. I didn't want him to get her killed, but I also was kind of like, yeah, but like you walking that line. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm. I was
you
for sure.
know
I was
what
like,
you're doing. You know what you're up against. You know this man killed your uncle, so you know what he
mm-hmm.
does. You know what I mean? So like, and like at no point was she ever trying to talk him like really like out of being where he was and being who he was. She liked
Mm-hmm.
having access to the information that she was getting by being there. And I ain't gonna hold you. I thought she was gonna leak. Like when he was told, like, just give her some false information and see if it pops up.
Oh yeah, and she started. I think it was a text message, or no, it was the story that she was writing, and I was just
Yeah.
like, I was like,
And
ooh,
I don't honestly know what it was that she saw in his little bedroom that made her be like, I
oh,
shouldn't really see this. Like, so what? You know what I mean? You saw his mom a little bit. Like, so what? You know what I'm saying? You still got him killed the next day, dog. Like he died the next day. So
I thought he was
I,
gonna live
I
for a
just
split second. I thought my man was safe, and when homie shot the gun, I was like, oh, he just shot a hole in the like on the floor next to his head. But then
Nah,
once
bro, I
he,
watched that joint. I saw his head bounce. And I was like, oh nah, yeah,
oh
he
no, you done.
yeah. I mean, look, I give it to him. He was smart enough to tell her to just go and don't tell me where you're going. Cause for
Mm-hmm.
real, if he'd have known where she was going, oh, he would have
Oh,
snitched. Oh,
that
he was
those
giving
beans would
all
have
that
been.
up. And then he was still gonna die. Like he was still gonna die. But you know, I I kind of like that they were kind of getting close and it's having little moments like I'm telling you, bro, just have a hot dog. This is a hot dog, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have one of these joints. Um, I like those. I like little moments like
Yeah.
that. I like Sheila kind of like just hanging on and getting to the end and being like, yo, like the AG want to talk to you. And
It,
him like hanging up and just
hang
being
up.
like, I see where your loyalties lie. She said, I'm loyal to the office of the mayor, dog. So now we know how she ends up being mayor in the Spider-Man trailer. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because that was also one of the things. Like, I'm watching this because I need to see.
Figure
Because
these
clearly in
pieces. That
Spider-Man, he's out and she's in, and we need to know how this happens. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So,
that'd be
like,
so
all right.
crazy if Fix could have still been mayor by the time Spider Man would have come around.
I mean, I want Peter Parker I want him to fight Kingpin. Like,
Mm,
there's no like he is Kingpin is one of Spider-Man's like main villains,
yeah,
like he was for a long. Like, I want to see them. I want the hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see it happen, but it's probably not gonna happen.
that's probably not
Um, Look, bro, we gotta talk about that last episode. That might be one of the best episodes of TV ever made.
gonna happen. Bro.
And here's the thing. I love courtroom dramas.
Yeah.
I love those kind of shows, bro. Like, I was the kid in like elementary school, middle school. I was watching LA Law, bro. Like, I've always been like, I love that kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always been into that kind of thing. And so, like, when they take a show like Daredevil that has all the other stuff going on, but then they
Mm-hmm.
actually add in like
Actually, go.
some courtroom drama kind of stuff, bro, I'm like in it. And I knew immediately what he was gonna do. I already
Oh,
knew what he was gonna do. For you, it sounds like maybe you was a little
hey,
surprised.
listen. I knew, like, I know from the comics, like, I knew there was a scene, like, literally where he, you know what, he gave up his identity in the courtroom. So a part of me was just like, I was like, I don't know. I feel like this may be a little too soon for him to go ahead and oust himself with Daredevil. But once he started doing the whole, hey, listen, there's another witness in this room right now, and you know who he is. And I was like, wait a minute. And he started hitting, and he started grilling him on the stand and all that. I was like, oh, he really about to do this right now.
Mm-hmm.
Call the witness. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I am the Daredevil. I was like, oh. And once he said that, I was like, ain't nobody gonna believe you, dude. You gonna have to do something. And when he chucked his cane joint and that joint double bounced off the wall and came back to him, I was just like,
And the
hey,
whole courtroom was like, oh,
yeah, hey,
you
for
know,
my man
it
from the
was like
Vigilante
it was
Task
like he
Force,
Steph Curry and shot a 3-pointer from
hey,
like
bro,
half court, bro.
the dude from the task force was like, a blind man that can fight.
Hey, a blind lawyer that can fight. Right, because he whooped you, Slim. You know what I'm saying? Like, he put hands on. Like, that means that he knew in that moment that when he was putting the hands on Matt Murdock could have punished him and didn't because he was protecting his identity because he straight up could have punished him. Yeah, like, bro, listen, it's so good. Like, watching him call Kingpin to the stand and everybody being like, what? For real? Like, you
What?
crazy? And then him coming up, and then like Kingpin getting up there, and ain't nobody even ask him no questions. My man just start delivering speeches, like being
Monologuing
here
on.
for my city. I'm like, what? Shut up, dog. And my man just being like, is that you gonna answer a question or you just making speeches? Like,
Oh.
and people like starting to side with him by like laughing, like
Mm-hmm.
having the courtroom like laughing at a joke like that Matt made when he's, you know what I mean, dealing with this is again, you can kind of see the tides already turning. You know that the judges ain't real comfortable about the fact that they got to do stuff they don't really want to do, but like he did it in such a way that it literally gave them an out. Like we don't even have a choice, and her just being like, "Yep,
Hey,
this
listen,
entire court
dismiss
can't do
this
this."
junk
Like
with prejudice. Like, get this crap out of this courtroom. It's
we
like,
out. You know what I'm saying? Like just that whole that whole thing, that entire breakdown, like the way, and like you could see that Karen was like, "There's no way he's not getting ready.
hey,
He
listen,
can't be getting ready to do this." And Kirsten don't have no idea. Like
she
you know,
don't no
she
idea
don't
what's
know.
going on right now. in the dark, and then like it hit her like, she's thinking like, that's the reason why you don't be in the thing when it's time for you to show up for us to do our jobs and stuff. You out here doing this
You
bull.
don't be ready. Always hurt somewhere, hobbling in, you know, whatever. Yeah, bro, like it's so well done. And even though like the end of the episode is kind of over the top, like the whole like once they get out of the courtroom and everything is done and they're walking out at the same time, and it's like they coming out one side, like Kingpin and his folks coming out one side, and Daredevil and all his folks are coming out the other side. And what was weird about it was at the end of it, maybe I missed something. Maybe I don't quite understand what happened. But when the courtroom, when it ended and the case was dismissed, the judge said, "Mr. Murdock, stay after. Like stay in the courtroom, stay after." But when Fisk went out, he also went out.
Went
You know
out
what I
too.
mean? For some reason, like he didn't stay, and I don't know. I feel like something got missed or something didn't happen, or maybe they
No,
cut something.
I think there was a drop in something on that side because like one, I was for sure one when they ended that whole entire thing, I was for sure Fisk was about to sick the whole task force on Matt Murdock right there in the courtroom. But then when they all just walked out, they were huddled together. I was just like,
Well, yeah, because he actually says to Karen and them like, "Oh, they're not leaving, huh?" And they're like, "Yeah, they're not leaving." Right? So it's like clearly they're in there and they're waiting for him, but also we know now, of course, that they had set up the whole thing across the street with the fake sniper to, like they had some sort of a plan in place. Not even necessarily thinking that it was going to end that way, like that it was going to be over or whatever, but still had the plan. Like when they walk out, we're going to have basically Bullseye take out Murdock, like, you know what I mean, kind of thing. And that way we don't have to worry about him continuing to be the lawyer for this. So the plan was to assassinate Murdock anyway. And he would have heard it, but but they don't know that. But having Bullseye show up and just look at Slim like, "Oh, you fake me out, me. I'm out of body you." You know what I mean? And just take everybody out. I don't know, bro. The amount of times that they allude to Frank Castle and the Punisher, the way that Karen is very like, "Nah, dog, Punisher's right. Like, we might just have to take these dudes because every time you let somebody go, somebody else dies. Like, this is it's this ongoing, recurring kind of thing. It's very much Batman and Red Hood.
Batman.
Like, very much Batman and Red Hood. Like, you keep putting them in jail or letting them
They
go
keep
or
getting
letting them
out
live,
and they keep.
whatever, and then they go back out and they kill more people. Very Red Hood and Batman, and I think that their motivations like really speak, and I think again it does speak very well to the nature of people and people just kind of being like, all right, so do we respond in kindness, right? Like the way we should, or do we be the savages they claim that we are
Yeah.
and go eye for an eye, right? Do we have to beat them at their own game by being them? You know what I mean? At their own game kind of thing. And her being at a place in her head where she's just like, bro, just walk away. Like all you got to do is walk away and let me do this and I'll live with it. I'm good with it. Like, I'll deal with it. At the same time, it's a lie, right? Because one, then he'd have to live with the fact that he walked away knowing that was what she was gonna do. Two, she's gonna continue to have more nightmares, and he's gonna be laying next to her, and he's gonna have to deal with the
He
fact that
gonna
now
deal
she
with it
does
either way.
guilt or whatever. Like it's still gonna be there, right? Like all of that is still like a motivating factor. Um, there are things in this that take me out that, again, keep it from being a 10 for me. So I'm going to lay out a complaint or two, that I have. When they're in the church, him and Bullseye, he rescues Bullseye. They go to the church. They get to the church. And finally, the father in the church says to them, like, y'all will always be welcome. You'll always have a sanctuary here. However, I think they know you're here, right? And the task force shows up at the door, and they go and they hide in the back room. And Daredevil's like, I can't save us both. I gotta go. I'm gonna have to leave you, or whatever, because he can't possibly get him out. And he leaves him. But then somehow he goes back and he's just able to get him out. They don't show it. They don't talk about how it happens. He just does. If you can do that, why didn't we just do that in the first place? Like, it just, those kinds of things, bro, they take me out. They take me out. Like, I was watching that episode and I was like, I thought they were still going to have to fight their way out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought when he went back, it was going to be like, I'm coming back, get up. Like, we're going to have to fight our way out of this. And I thought that's what they were going to do. And I would have been fine with that. But if you had to leave him because there was no way that you could get both of you out, but then you just picked him up and you did, nah, bro, you need to explain that to me. And that, like, that kind of stuff, that takes me out. Jokes. It ruins it for me. I don't know if you even thought about it or if it bothered you at all.
Nah,
and if
I don't
it
think
didn't
that
until I said something, I apologize to you.
Nah, you good. Like, there's some things, like, I feel like I let them go a little bit easier probably than you do. Because, like, I'll see those things and just be like, whatever. Kingpin just crushed a dude's skull in with his bare hands. Fine, whatever. Something hit the cutting room. I don't know, whatever. And I think I just kind of let it walk and let it be. I think if I let those things get me from time to time, then, like you said, yeah, this would drop it from being like a 9 to like a 7 or an 8, depending on what it is. Because definitely there's multiple instances of things of that sort that do happen.
I mean, listen.
Like, I know Karen's got a little bit of hands, but that last dude, like, in order to do that last lineup before they got ready to, when Fisk came out from, like, the courtroom, and, like, she, like, judo chopped and did all that and flipped dude with the gun, and I was just like, I was like, I know you got a little.
I don't even know why she did it. I don't know where she was going or why she was even out there. You're supposed to be in the room with them. Why are you even sneaking out there? Right. Like, why are you?
Just to have the Avengers
I'm cool.
assemble
Listen,
moment.
Bro. They spent the entire first, like, 5 episodes showing that Karen got hands now.
Yeah.
She been in the jump, training with Daredevil, learning how to throw the things. Okay, cool. She can throw the things. I'm with it. I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? But why is she out there? Like, when him and Jessica went out to go take care of the people, she was supposed to stay in the room. Dude wasn't coming to the room. Why are you out here? Why are you out here? And for real, the Karen that was getting ready to shoot Bullseye in the head, you punished Slimmy. He had a shotgun. You were supposed to pick that up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's bothering me. So, like, yeah, you're right. I'm okay with the fact that she has hands and she could beat Slim up. I'm all right with that. But why are you out there? Stay in your room. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, Karen ain't never known how to just mind her business. She's a Karen. Like, for real. It's something going on outside. I know I'm supposed to stay in here with y'all or whatever, but I gotta go out. You know what I mean? And she stayed being somewhere she had no business being and get her in trouble.
Hey, listen, that's why she got
ended
caught.
Up having to
that's why she
anyway.
got caught. My man saw her and just, Karen effing Page. Like,
yeah, just always trying to do so much, bro. Like, God, just shut up and sit down somewhere. Sit down somewhere, bro. But, we need characters like that. They move the story forward.
Yep.
And it kind of makes sense because her personality is that. I hate her personality, but it is her personality, and it is perfectly within the kind of character that she is, that she's going to do those things and she's going to consistently get caught. Like, it just, you're good, but you're not that good. You know what I'm saying? Your wig looks terrible. Your disguise is trash. But whatever, you know what I mean? Go out in the streets. Go stand right in front of the people who are looking for you and you know are looking for you. Hey, whatever. Um, so yeah, some of those things, bro, they take me out. They do. I mean, and it bothers me a bit. But I'm gonna say, while there's really no part of me that wants Mike Coulter to come back as Luke Cage, because I'm not a fan. But he is him. Yep. Like that's what it is at this point. And so seeing him show up at the end of the episode was like, all right, fine. You know what I mean? But can we just leave it at the two of them? Can we just
go? It's like, don't worry about Danny Rand,
bro. Just leave that alone, bro. Like, can we just? That's enough.
Just make the Defenders a trio.
That's enough. No, dog. No. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a good show. Totally worth the watch.
Definitely is.
Especially now that you could just binge it. Totally worth binging. Like, it just binge it. You know what I mean? Like, just do like 4 episodes and then do like another 4 episodes. Like, you ain't got to give it 8 hours. But especially for the way it turns out at the end, like what it feels like I was really like, yeah, let's go. Like, and for real, there's a part of me that also likes them, like, for the very end of the episode, just kind of letting Fisk go ham.
Hey, hey, I feel bad for all those folks that had no idea.
Crushing citizens.
First dude, the first dude that just got chucked and like splattered all on the wall. That should have been your immediate sign. All the rest of y'all just turn around and just walk away. Because clearly this dude is not a regular human being. He's already like 6-7 feet tall, 400 some odd pounds. It's just like
7 feet.
Hey, listen. They be trying to oversell my man being like super gigantic out here. But
I mean, listen. Let me say this. Dog. That fight between the two of them in like the little dungeon.
Oh, the little dungeon jump?
Kingpin. Hey, he was throwing them things, bro. Hey, dog, if he'd have done anything close to that in the boxing ring, he definitely would have killed Slim. He was throwing them things, and he was moving real fast, bro. Like, he was motivated. It was yeah. He was going. That joint was actually, again, like, if there's a fight or whatever, like, I'm in it and I'm paying attention to those things. Hey, dog, he was like he was throwing. Hey, dog, he was throwing them things, bro. Yeah, if he'd have connected, bro.
Hey, Murdock would have had less than just a limp trying to get back.
That just joint would have been Daredevil dead again, bro. Like, if he'd have connected with that joint, it'd have been over. Like, it just is no two ways about it. Yeah, bro. I like the way this joint ended. There is something I like about the way that it ended, and they like showed like all the important individual like characters from throughout the season and like exactly like where they ended up and what happened to them at the end, right? So you see Matt getting arrested, going to jail, and him walking into the jail in the orange jumpsuit with the folks from the task force walking past him, you know what I mean, or whatever. Like, it was very the end of Spider-Man with like, but him walking past them, seeing Fisk just like in another country, just on the beach.
And listen, that parallel for the two of them, it's like, Matt really saved the day, but you know what? He the one in jail. Fisk out here
Correct.
and wreck people and all, and he in paradise right now. Even though you can tell, like, he's emotionally, like, he's hurt, he's broken, but
Sure.
you're in paradise.
It's no such thing. Not for a man like that. Not for a man whose head is like that. You gotta remember, his own daughter shot him in the eye,
Yeah,
which he survived, by the
he
way.
survived that jump and got an eye.
You know what I mean?
He should be out here with a Nick Fury eye patch on.
Or Kano with a laser joint.
Hey, listen, listen. I think you all right. I think my man a mutant.
Hey, dog, definitely he should be. All right, we can't get into that right now. Yeah, just kind of seeing where everybody ends up, like Bullseye, Karen, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get to see kind of everybody. Sheila, you get to see the mayor. You kind of get to see what's going on with BB, and like her getting the box and getting the job at her uncle's. You know what I mean? Your old
Mm-hmm.
newspaper, like all of those kinds of things where you kind of just get this flash of like what's going on. Again, getting to see like Jessica and Luke come back and like
Mm-hmm.
the way that they did all of that, and then at the very end, it's very satisfying after giving you all of that anxiety. Just be like, here's where everybody is. This is what's going
Mm-hmm.
on with each individual person, whether you like it or not. Whether you know what I mean, like whether you feel good about Matt being where he is. Like I don't feel like he's in danger, but clearly he's in some sort of danger. But like
Right.
also, you know that now I can't think of his name. The black dude that was on the task force that turned on Slim.
Oh yeah. With the scars.
You know, in the
Yeah.
comics, he ends up like flipping. Like he's like that in the beginning. He ends up flipping and becoming an ally for Daredevil later on. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
that's like how it happens. It's not exactly what that was, but you know that's how it happens. And so like him giving kind of like the head nod when he walks past him is almost kind of like saying like I got your back in here. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean, kind of thing. Versus having somebody two steps behind him that's like, yeah, Slim, I'm gonna see you when I see you. Like all of that. Like it's just so satisfactory to get an ending that tells you where everybody is and what's going on with everybody. And let me say this because I didn't touch on this at all. I gotta talk about Lil Slim like getting her hands dirty, showing up in the middle of the hallway with her uncle's white tiger
Oh, with the
joint
pen.
and having
Yeah.
and just getting a chance to get busy, bro. Like I didn't think they were gonna do it. It's just because she's so little and she's so young. Like
Yeah.
I just didn't think they was
Nah.
gonna do it.
They let her get her hallway fight scene in. Hey, listen, they let her get in the middle of that. Hey,
Hey
that's like
Slim,
an honor now. Let you go. Hey, listen, you get in the hallway fight scene. Like what?
I'm just saying, bro. Like
Hey, she was she was doing the damn
they
thing.
let her get busy, bro, and I was with it. I really like that they did it. Like when they started alluding to it in the last season, I was like, they not. I mean, she's
They
too
ain't going.
young.
They ain't
She's
going.
too little. They not gonna do this. You know what I mean? Like they're not gonna let her. Hey, bro, they let her get busy.
Mm-hmm. I thought Matt was going to end up. I thought he was going to try to stop her or something, and he looked over and just kind of like, okay.
I mean, he was kind of like at this point, bro. Like what? Like for real? Like what am I do? And like clearly, there's no stopping her. Like she's motivated.
Nope.
Like she's just, I'm gonna be for the people. This is
Mm-hmm.
what I do. You know what I'm saying? Viva la revolution. Like she's in there, dog. Like it's on. So like, cool. You know what I mean? Um, gotta show some love to that. Like them letting her do the white tiger thing. Again, I think it's dope. You know what I mean? So I gotta show some extra love for them doing that. Jokes, final thoughts. Let's wrap this up.
Final thoughts. Season was great.
Yeah,
Looking forward to the next season. Like it
yeah.
looks like we're kind of like on a clean. Oh, I don't want to say a clean slate, but we've dotted a lot of I's, we've crossed a lot of T's, so we definitely have a new kind of scenario that we would be going into with season 3. But this season, clean.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Does Punisher this one shot for Punisher does it have an effect on anything from this show? Will it do or
Mm,
undo anything? Does Matt get out? Where do you think it takes place timeline wise? My personal thoughts is that this is a setup because it's like the one last kill joint. So
Yeah.
this is a setup for Frank being in Spider-Man, which is coming out in like 2 months.
I feel like maybe this will almost play, whether it's right before season 2, or maybe this is somehow parallel happening during the portion of it. Because I feel like maybe we'll get the explanation on why we didn't actually see Frank Castle. So whether it is
I mean,
maybe
they are
he,
in his.
yeah. So maybe, like, you know what, he went on different. He had to take out somebody else. I don't know. Maybe whatever's leading to it. I just feel like it won't. I don't think it's going to change anything major, other than the fact
Sure.
that, you know what, it took him away from possibly being there to help support Matt and the rest of them through the whole entire thing. And then we'll get, you know, like a brief reason on now why he is in Spider-Man.
All right, look. The Spider-Man trailers show Spider-Man fighting the Hand,
Mm-hmm.
Daredevil enemies, in a movie that has Punisher in it, who's been tied to Daredevil in this. And there are scenes in which he is in a jail. Is he going to get Matt Murdock?
Ooh. Ooh. Hey, listen, he finds out the Hand is going after Matt Murdock for whatever reason. And since he
Or something.
knows, I mean, obviously, because of
Does he
everything,
know?
Matt doesn't know Peter Parker is Spider-Man, but
Correct.
hey, listen, that it could be.
It takes that trailer and it places the fact that Peter Parker is in jail
Mm-hmm.
fighting the Hand, and it gives them a reason for him to be in jail fighting the Hand. Like,
Hey,
that's all I'm
listen,
saying.
you saved possibly Aunt May from getting hit in the head with a brick that came through the window. So maybe this is
Sure.
like, hey, listen, maybe I'm paying you back. I don't know, but
Well, here's
that
the
could.
thing. He knows Frank. Like, he
Mm-hmm.
calls him by name in the trailer.
Right,
So
which is.
that in and of itself means that, again, he's been doing this street level Spider-Man thing for like the last 5 years
Mm-hmm.
at the time that movie takes place. So
Sounds like they're
him
going to
having knowledge,
incorporate.
clearly, like, for the city to have been under Fisk's control, for
Mm-hmm.
there to be this whole vigilante thing that he was doing, right? And for Fisk to have mentioned a person dressed like a spider in the last season, like, clearly
Mm-hmm.
they know about
They
Spider-Man.
know.
Spider-Man is clearly having to have operated while all this is happening. There's no way that he doesn't know who Matt Murdock is, because the entire city knows that Matt
Yeah.
Murdock is Daredevil. So all it takes is for Punisher to understand that the Hand has something to do with Matt Murdock, and for them to be like, hey, hey, let me tell you exactly who we need.
Hey, yo, Spider, I need your help. I like just in his way to go up and start talking.
And I'm gonna tell you how that was the worst Punisher impression I have
It wasn't
ever
as.
heard, dog. That joint was terrible, dog. You could have just put the high pitch on it and just been like, do a backflip. You know what I'm saying? Just like, um, yeah, I think that people who are excited about going, look, if you are planning to go see Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
I think it might be important for you to watch this show. I'm just gonna say it, just based on what I see. And now that this is over, and that we're getting Punisher a week after this joint ended,
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost positive we're about to get a new Spider-Man trailer. Within like a week or two, they're gonna drop a new Spider-Man trailer where they can let people know. Because once they do that, it'll do two things. One, it'll make people come back and watch this, especially
Uh-huh.
since the number's been low. So it'll make
Yeah.
people go back and watch it. It will
That'd
also
be
likely
crazy.
drive people to watch the Punisher one shot because they know that Punisher's in Spider-Man. So if they drop a new trailer, dog,
They're gonna shift. Hey, listen, they're gonna shift to that jail cell, and Matt just sitting in his jail cell
hey
in
Slim,
the
I'm
hand show.
calling it. I'm calling it. They gotta do it. They gotta do it. He has to be in that joint, dog.
Hey, listen,
You
I don't
telling
know
me,
who that
dog,
is.
we're gonna get,
I don't know who that is that's
bro,
jumping down with Spider-Man when the Hand coming up
we
to
about to
him.
get Spider-Man, Punisher, Daredevil, and the Hulk in one joint. and possibly Luke Cage is back in town, dog.
Hey, listen, new set of defenders. Maybe this is how you get Danny Rand out of it.
Get him out of here, dog. Get him out of here.
Hey, Danny getting replaced by Spidey.
Hey, dog, I think it's going down, bro. All right, look. I'm still sitting at like an 8.5 for this show.
That's fair. I'll stick with my 9. I'm good with my 9 still.
That's cool. I really don't have an argument for that. I could see me. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you like this. If a new Spider-Man trailer drops and Daredevil's in that joint, this show's a 10. I'm saying something. I'm reserving the right. I'm reserving the right to go back and adjust this joint. Right now, this joint's an 8.5. But boy,
if that show, hey, listen, be prepared for that reel to show up, y'all. Just like, hey, listen, these are just revisions to our scores from Spoiler Boys.
You better know. So, a 9 for jokes, an 8.5 for me. This has been your Spoiler Boys for Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We're out. Toodles and loos.
Tighten it up. Get your wing up there, Malcolm. No.